Okay, Squirrel Tribe, listen, I wanted to give you guys a follow-up on what we talked about yesterday, where the random person came to our front door, got very aggressive with my husband. Everything was extremely shady. That's all I'm gonna give you for right now. If you haven't seen it, you'll have to watch the video from yesterday. I'll put it at the end of this one. That way you can see it. But I wanted to give you an update on exactly what happened. So the person that said that they were with FPL, which is Florida Power and Lights, but as a third-party contractor, was lying out his butt. So here's the thing. I ended up calling FPL after we talked here on YouTube. I called FPL and I was like, listen, I just want to know exactly what's going on here, because I had this guy come to my front door who, by the way, he said his name was Lance. I forgot to mention that yesterday. The guy said his name was Lance. He comes to the front door and I told them everything that he said, right? And they said, we do not subcontract out to third party anything. If we are going to come out to your location, we set up an appointment time with you. If there's something going on, we will send it in an email to you first. We will call, but we do not just show up at your door, and we do not subcontract out to third parties. And I was like, see, I knew this bro was shady as all get out, right? So I was looking at your comments yesterday, and a lot of y'all were saying that you've had these issues with these solar guys, these people who are trying to push solar power or whatever else that have been showing up at your door and knocking on your door. And I was like, I wonder if that's what it could possibly be. And I was trying to remember what the front of this guy's shirt said. Well, thankfully, and of course we've talked about it already, and I'm not sponsored. Please understand this is not sponsored anything. We have a Ring camera. So I told my husband, I said, babe, can you get me the Ring footage? Maybe I can see exactly who he is, where he came from, whatever else. So my husband pulls up all the Ring footage, which we're going to take a look at right now, because we come with receipts over here on Squirrel Tribe. So this is the guy. Look, okay? Okay, you see the back of his shirt there. Okay, so he walks up. This is him, tatted up, whatever, got the hat on and the shirt, the iPad in his hand. Then he backs up and stands there. And then, of course, I walk out and I'm like, whatever. So the next one, let's see, this is where he's trying to hand me the iPad. And I'm like, what am I looking at here? I don't really know what's going on. I don't know if y'all can hear him. He said, we have surveyors coming out this month to see what homes may be eligible for saving money, is what he said. He didn't say solar power. He didn't say anything else. And at no point in the conversation while he was there did he say the company that he worked for, right? So then I told y'all, my husband and I, we were like, let's take the dog, let's go for a walk and whatever else. So we went to look around the neighborhood to see if he was anywhere, because we had seen him go towards our neighbor's house. I don't have that neighbor's phone number, but I did ask her this morning. I said, hey, did some guy come knocking on your door? And she said she was in the restroom and she heard a knock on the door, but didn't answer the door. So that guy, he might have made it into somebody else's home, but we didn't see a truck anywhere that we didn't already know belonged to somebody that was there doing work or whatever. There were a lot of cars over by one house, but I think there was a graduation party going on, so that didn't count. So we could never find this car, right? So, talk to FPL, whatever else. Then it occurred to me, hello, watch the Ring camera footage again. So I did. And I did a screenshot and I'm like, what does this say, right? It says Freedom Pros 2025. So I'm like, Freedom Pros 2025, trying to pull it up, right? And it says here in 2025, Freedom Pros, a solar sales and installation company, has a focus on competitions and sales events, including a summer competition called Resurgence and a 1v1 knockout competition called Cutthroat. They also have a Pro XP trip to Cancun, Mexico, and other prizes like Pebble Beach golf experiences, blah, 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 blah. The company emphasizes best leadership, training, opportunity, and culture. So technically, this guy is from Freedom Solar Pros. So then, of course, I jump on maps and I'm like, where is Freedom Solar Pros? There's nothing anywhere near where we live. So I don't know if they're all online or whatever else. But either way, when we asked the guy if he was soliciting and he said no, liar, number one. Number two, never told us exactly who he was or what he was from, which is, shady in and of itself. Number three, said that he was there on behalf of FPL as a third-party contractor. FPL did not hire him. FPL did not hire Freedom Pros. I asked them specifically. I called back and I said, listen, this is who showed up here. And earlier I called and y'all said you do not contract out third party. So did you send Freedom Pros to my house? Because I want to know, right? Like, I want to know who's messing with me and what is going on. Now, thankfully, in theory, this wasn't somebody that was trying to case the house, which is what I was worried about at first, because I hadn't seen the back of his shirt. But there's also the possibility that he just found this shirt at the Goodwill. Let me explain. I used to have corporate America jobs, and I would have t-shirts from the company I worked for. And when we moved, I took all those t-shirts and I gave them to Goodwill. So anybody and their mama could be walking around in anybody's t-shirt right now. So he could, in theory, not even be from Freedom Pros. He could be some dude who bought a shirt at Goodwill for $1, although with inflation, he probably paid $7 for that joker, which is crazy because Goodwill gets everything for free, turns around and then sells it for a massive profit. But anyway, I digress. So, you know, whatever. So then I try to find a phone number for Freedom Pros, and I find a phone number. So I call Freedom Pros and I said, listen, this is the neighborhood that I live in. This is the person that came to my house. Why are you guys in this neighborhood? Because it's a no soliciting neighborhood. And I may be Karening out about this, but I don't give a shit, because here's the thing. We live where we live for a specific reason. So we don't have to worry about jokers walking up at our door and knocking on the door, trying to sell us something, trying to convert us to a new religion, trying to do any of these things, right? We like the fact that we live in an area that specifically states no soliciting. Now, when you as a company know that there's a sign that says no soliciting, know that you're going to break that and try to solicit anyway, know that you don't have a permit to do said soliciting, know that you're going to lie about who you are and why you're there, that is shady as all get out to me. So Freedom Pros or whatever they are, shady as shit, okay? Maybe y'all have had good situations with them, but the way this dude showed up at our door yesterday, I was not a fan of. The way he did not tell us who he worked for. There was no lanyard. There was nothing that said who he was. The front of his shirt didn't say Freedom Pros. It had some like letters on it, or maybe it said 2025. None of them ever had letters or 2025, and it's hard to see from the Ring video, so that's not going to be helpful. But at the end of the day, I called our HOA guy. And again, I'm perfectly fine with where we live in our HOA. Now, some HOAs are absolute trash. Ours is really, really good. I called our HOA guy. I sent him all the information that has been passed along to the sheriff's department where we live, because that was trespassing. What the Freedom Pros bro did was trespassing, because there's strictly stated that there is no soliciting in this neighborhood. And so for him to come in, he immediately was trespassing. So if any of them show up again, guess what? Guess what? We get to call the police, and your little butt's going to go in the back of a cop car because you are trespassing at that point. There is such a thing as freedom, right? Which is ironic because Freedom Pros. And there's such a thing as you have the freedom to do what you want. And I have the freedom to let you know when you're being stupid. And Broski trying to walk up in our neighborhood and walk around to all these doors and try to sell something by lying to them about who he was, what he was there for, who he's there on the behalf of. No, I have the freedom to do whatever I need to do to make sure your ass doesn't come in my neighborhood again. So that's that. I appreciate the crap of every single one of you, because y'all commenting about solar is what made me go, I wonder if that's what it is. Like, he never said who he was or what he was from. He said his name was Lance, and that was it. And then he got, mouthy towards my husband, which my husband is way bigger than him. Either dude is stupid or had a death wish for the day. I'm not quite sure. But so then I start looking it up, and there's so many Reddit posts about Freedom Pros that are just awful, because they're like, they come here and they knock on your door and they're aggressive and they're pushy. They don't tell you the truth about who they are, what they're doing. They con you into signing up on their iPad. So then you're giving them all this information and you don't even really know what you're doing. And I think that's why the guy got mad yesterday, because we were like, listen, we're not stupid. Whatever you're doing, I want no part of it. Go away, whatever. We'll call FPL and figure things out on our own. And I think that he realized, oh shit, there goes my chance at winning this Cancun, Mexico trip, because I'm not going to be able to get these suckers to sign up, right? Listen, be wary. Be wary of all these people. At the end of the day, just head on a swivel. We say it all the time. And if you're going to answer your door, make sure that you have something for protection if necessary, and that you have something that gives you video evidence of whatever's going on, because this was helpful for us to be able to say, you have broken a law and we will not abide by it. And I don't care if I sound like a Karen. This is where I live. This is my safe space, and I want it to stay that way. And Lance from Freedom Pros pissed me off yesterday. So there you go. That's the update. I just wanted y'all to know exactly what happened, because a lot of y'all were like, well, did you call FPL? Did you figure it out? Now you know, and we are good. Now, I will be looking for, like, if there's any trucks around that say Freedom Pros on it, like in surrounding neighborhoods or anything. I don't think so. I don't think they roll like that. I think they show up in their own regular car, park it somewhere out of sight, and then, trespass into wherever they're going to go, try to sell you all this crap. But if you guys have had them show up at your house before, please leave a comment below. I want to know if y'all had the same experience I did, where you're like, who are you? What are you doing here? Nothing you're saying makes sense. I'm very confused, because I know it's not just me. There's no way it was just me. Anyway, that's all. I love y'all immensely. Thank you for letting me give you the update to yesterday's situation. And I will be back later with actual news and things like that that y'all might be interested in as well. So until then, I love you and have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.